Okay, during World War II, I was in the Whitehall High School, graduating in my senior year, and the draft period was on, and as soon as I had graduated, then I got put into the drafting group and was drafted into service to begin with, and then we went into our initial entrance, and which time they interviewed us and divided us and told us where we were supposed to go, and the first thing they did was ask me where I wanted to go, and I told them I wanted to go to the Army, and they said, why do you want to go to the Army? And I said, because I think that's my background, and I think they do things that I would be better supported to do. But the recruiting officer said, well, that's nice, but he said, you're going to the Navy, so that was the first shock for me. I got to understand that at this point I had probably the first time I'd been away from home for by myself for any extended period, and anyhow we got transferred. I got assigned to the Navy, and then I was sent home. But during the period of time that we were going through this examination, my clothes and stuff were put in a certain place, and they stole my money, and I had to go home, and I had no money. And but there was another friend of mine that was going to the Army, and I got a hold of him, and he gave me enough money so I could get home again. That was the beginning of going to the Navy, and I don't regret having been in the Navy. I think what I learned mostly from being in any service, and it doesn't matter if you would be in the Navy or Marines or Army or whatever, I did learn that there are good people no matter where you are. And you have to divide between the good people that you associate with and the bad ones. But whenever you get changed from one group to another, and you do it disappointingly, but you end up finding out something that you always will find out in life, is that there are good people and there are good friends no matter where you are. And whether you have a good friend or you don't have a good friend, a lot depends on you. It's not the other person, it's your association with those people. Yeah. Well, my life during World War II was probably supported by something that I learned from our Scandinavian background. Because in a period of war, like it is during a normal period of life, there's always going to be some disappointments. And things that are disappointing are the most difficult to understand. It's easy to understand the things that are not disappointing. But it's going to happen, and you're going to have something to keep you during that period. And as I went through World War II, we had several opportunities where we could have been killed. We had opportunities where we could have been disabled. We had opportunities where we could be transferred or not be transferred for promotions, and so can't emphasize the fact too much that you have to be prepared to live with disappointments. But you will learn from disappointments if you have the mindset to understand why. Maybe it's not your life to decide what is a disappointment, because I had several things and times during the time I was in World War II. Our ship was hit by a kamikaze, and during that period I slept underneath the flight deck, and the Jap suicide hit our ship right above my bunk area. And when it was over with, the only thing I had left was my clothes that was on. And that day was, and the days after that were pretty disappointing. several of our friends were killed, several of our friends were injured, and it was the rest of us that support each other. I think that we don't understand is how the human being responds to war. If one of your friends or one of your close buddies or somebody gets injured or gets killed or something like that, it changes your mind, and it strengthens you because you fight on, and you fight on harder, strictly from those things. The mystery of life is part of that.